All right, so we have our eyes on the end of a mission for 4 international crew members aboard the SpaceX mission orbiting the North and South Pole. It is set to splash down off of the coast of Oceanside, California. That's just south of Laguna Beach. This marks, by the way, the first time humans have attempted this particular trip. And so you can see we're watching it as it moves along there. We have our experts standing by to break this down as we get closer to splashdown. Kind of a fun way to end your week, to watch something from space come back down to Earth, or at least the waters around Earth. Oh, look at that. Should we stay on it, Dave? I'm asking our producer right now. You can see the parachutes deployed there. That is going to slow the roll, so to speak, of the SpaceX crew on board that Fram-2 mission to splash down in California. Hey, listen, sometimes the TV news gods just say, I'm going to deliver and deliver early, and it looks like they're going to. You can see the surface of the water now. This is a different vantage point from the SpaceX crew. This is looking up to what they are tethered to, and that is those really cool parachutes that are slowing the roll there. Pretty exciting to see. This is another vantage point as this crew comes a little closer to Earth. Once again, what looks like a couple of lights is really just those parachutes deployed to really make it so that they're going slow. Let's bring in Bill Harwood right now as we watch this, and let's be space geeks together once again, Bill. This is something you and I love to see. As you're seeing that, what are we seeing play out there?
Well, 2 drogue chutes deployed to stabilize the craft, and just now the main parachutes have been released. Hopefully the camera will pan up and we'll see those, but so far so good. The descent from orbit is nominal, as NASA would say, or SpaceX says. And in this shot, you can see the main parachutes inflating. So they're in great shape. They should be landing momentarily in the ocean just west of Oceanside, California.
I love this. It's the new dawn of the space age here in these United States. Tell us what is likely going on the inside of that capsule, carrying the people who went up and who are now coming down, tethered to those parachutes. What do you know about what's going on inside?
Well, it's interesting. You know, this is the very first crew ever launched to orbit in which there are no pilots, no astronauts. These are all, accomplished individuals, but they're not aviators, if you will. They're trying to show that the Crew Dragon is fully automated. It's able to carry non-professional flyers to Earth orbit, and that's a first. And, of course, another first was launching them into polar orbit so they could go around the poles 55 times during this flight.
Yeah, so for our viewers, if you picture the globe in your local library or maybe on your screen looking at Google Earth, usually it orbits around the planet going side to side, but this time orbited around the poles, and now you're seeing what's going on the outside of the capsule and what's going on the inside. The sun's starting to wash over the faces. So it really was a mission that was quite unique.
Yeah, it really was. Being able to see the poles from orbit was a first, and all 4 of these crew members are veteran polar explorers. They've done lots of traveling. One's a cinematographer who lives inside the Arctic Circle, and of course the man who chartered the flight, Chun Wang, who paid an undisclosed amount of money to SpaceX to carry this flight off. He's been to both poles and is an extensive world traveler, but this is certainly a big step in that direction for sure.
Well, and we are awaiting splashdown right there along the California coastline, not too far from Laguna Beach. So we will stay on this until our viewers are able to see that. And you can see the horizon there. So it looks like we're getting pretty close, Bill. Are we is it a mischaracterization or an overcharacterization to say that we are in a new era of space travel in these United States?
Well, I think we are, in a sense. Like I said, these are the first non-aviators or astronauts to fly in space. The idea is to show that SpaceX at least is now capable of carrying non-professionals to orbit, get more people up there. But on the other hand, these flights are extremely expensive, and they are certainly beyond the reach of most normal people.
Let's listen in right now.
Welcome home from 2. We have confirmation of splashdown of the Dragon spacecraft. Dragon has returned home with the From-2 crew. The SpaceX recovery ship and team have been waiting for Dragon splashdown, and they will now start making their way to the splashdown location.
Our teams have been ready and waiting for this return about 3 nautical miles away. So it's going to take them about 30 minutes to make their way to Dragon.
So, Bill, you heard it was quiet when I first threw to that moment. And that's probably because they're all holding their breath to see if this works. And then, of course, that jubilant moment of applause.
On behalf of SpaceX, welcome home.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this is it's quite a moment for the crew and for SpaceX as well. This is not a NASA mission. You know, this is a private company launching private citizens to space, and as we just saw, getting them back to Earth successfully. So that's a bit of a coup for SpaceX, although I don't know that anybody was nervous. These things have worked pretty well over the last few years, and but I guess it's never routine. What can you say? They're enduring extreme temperatures during reentry, up to 3,500 degrees, and they're slowing down from 17,000 miles an hour to 16 miles an hour when they actually hit the water. And I should say the recovery ships are very close by. They're obviously within sight. The recovery crews will be on scene at the capsule in just a few minutes, and they'll haul it aboard the recovery ship Shannon when the crew will finally be able to get out.
All right. Well, as my grandma would say, pretty damn cool. Bill Harwood, thank you so much for talking to us there. A great moment in U.S. Space history there, landing there off the coast of California. It's our joy. Hey, listen, we say on this broadcast, when we see it, you see it. You just saw it. That's pretty cool. All right. We are taking you back out to the waters off of the coastline of Orange County, California, and you are seeing the SpaceX crew from to capsule freshly returned to Earth, and they are opening up the hatches there. Usually in the water's edge, you hear that phrase, batten down the hatches. Well, now they're opening up the hatch there. Listen, this has been really quite an interesting and peculiar mission. Orbited Earth over the poles, and now for the first time, you're able to peek through the camera lens and see those space travelers who are getting their first photos right there as they make their way back to Earth, but also being seen as they get ready to get off. Now, of course, in space travel and all things SpaceX and NASA, everything is according to procedure. And so all of this is being done one by one just to make sure that they reintegrate back to Earth after this amazing mission. You're watching CBS News 24/7. Hey, if you didn't believe us before, now you do. We prove it. When we see it, you see it. So fun to bring this to you. Elizabeth Cook continues when we come back.